Hello, welcome to the 12th Sunday of Ordinary Time. Today we celebrate Christ our Lord, who is always with us. He continues to deliver us from all that threatens and makes life difficult for us. This includes persecution, sin and death. In the first reading, God delivered the prophet Jeremiah from deadly plots and the hands of evil men. Our world is full of threats against the righteous and innocent. Today's second reading has a lot in common with the first. First, the prophet who was innocent of all accusations, Jeremiah, and threats against him. Humanity inherited death through the sin of disobedience of her progenitors, Adam and Eve. In a similar way, while God delivered the innocent prophet Jeremiah from the plots and terrors of his enemies, in the second reading, Paul recounts how Christ delivered humanity from the terrors and shackles of death caused by Adam and Eve. Paul draws our attention to a very important aspect of our salvific history. This is especially with regards to the relationship between sin and death, and of course between the consequences of Adam's disobedience and that of Christ's obedience. For while Adam's disobedience and sin brought us death, Christ's obedience brought us life. This is the summary of all that Christ did for us. Through his sacrificial death and obedience to his Father's will, he dissipated the terrors that threaten our life and restored our peace. Thus he delivered us from damnation due to sin, from the fall of Adam and Eve. In the Gospel, Jesus exhorts us, "Do not be afraid, for everything that is now covered will be uncovered." This includes the plans of the evil ones who are always threatening to persecute and destroy the just one. It suffices to note that Christ knows that the fear and the threat of death can paralyze one. As the Lord of the living and the dead, he knows that physical death is not the end. Rather, it is a transition into eternity. Hence, he further exhorts us, "Do not be afraid of those who can kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear him who can destroy both body and soul in hellfire." In these comforting and assuring words of Christ rest our hope and our future as Christians. Every hair on your head has been counted, so there is no need to be afraid. They simply indicate that the Lord is on our side. He is ready and capable to deliver us from both the consequences and the harmful effects of sin, as well as from all the threats that we face in our daily life. Christ will live and go with us wherever we live and wherever we go, as we recall with Ruth in the Old Testament. But it also invites us to care for people because they are his people too. Jesus asks each disciple to be his partner in the work that God the Father sent him to do in this world. And he promises to be our partner, whatever our work, whatever kind of life we lead, wherever we go. We follow him, trusting that he is with us, and not just for a moment, but for the whole of our lives. Wherever we go, however we live, the Lord is at my side. His commitment is lifelong, despite his own inability to think of him as always, or even despite our occasional thoughtlessness, and rejection of him. The mystery of God's call to us and of our response to him is that he is there for us. "I am at your side, you are my friends," said Jesus, even to the disciples who lose the way. Finally, all we need to do to merit the protection Christ promised us is simply to be on his side by trusting in him. This calls for being just and innocent in our ways and actions. It means being true Christians. Of course, it also means submitting totally to Christ. God bless you.